next morning, he sat down with Chelsea TV to give the interview that the whole footballing world was after.
So, John, I can't imagine what we're going to talk about. How about you being Chelsea captain and staying that way?
Yeah, no, of course, we put a statement out today. And listen, I know it's been a long time since I've said anything, but there was talks between myself and the club, a few things I wanted to get resolved. I think the club made it quite clear early on that they wasn't interested in the bid. We had discussions about that, about other key players staying, and that was very important for me. You know, once I got them issues out of the way, which we have done now, you know, it's finally time to make the statement and I think move on and get the lads settled. You know, I've had a good pre-season so far, a couple of good wins, and then start to concentrate on the football side of things.
It has taken a while, but I think perhaps people think it's just a simple case of you being able to just walk off your doorstep and say something, but there's a lot of people involved when these things happen. Yeah,
of course. I mean, I was on holiday when I got the call from Peter to tell me about the bid for Man City. I've been at Chelsea for 14 years now. I want to keep it that way, I want to stay here, I want to win a lot more trophies here. But you know, Roman was out of the country. I wanted to have talks with him and Peter. Peter was busy, you know, trying to do things at the football club. So as you say, it's hard to get everyone together at the same time. I was on holiday. I was due back in training 4 days later. So we arranged to meet them. We had a few meetings back in London, a couple over here as well. And since we've been in America, and finally it's all been resolved, and you know, we can move on now.
Obviously the fans have been a bit worried for a few weeks. How have you been? It's not nice, I guess, to have speculation hanging over you.
Yeah, no, of course, it's strange because I've known sort of all along, you know, what the outcome of all events. It's just a case of taking its time and getting it right and making sure that when we do it, you know, we do things correctly. We feel as though from a club and my personal point of view, we've done things how we've wanted to do things. We've not reacted to the press and come out and done a statement to please them and keep them happy. You know, we've done things right from our side of things. And I think that's been key because as we said early on, you know, people have been out of the country, Roman's away. I've been in here trying to concentrate on pre-season and getting fit. Peter's been away, back home now. It's been difficult to tie down and sit down and have proper talks. We've finally done that, but as I said, you know, we can move on now.
The fans hold you in the highest regard. We've seen that out here on tour. Is there any part of you at all that's concerned that any of this might affect your reputation with them?
Well, no, I certainly hope not. You know, I've been here for 14 years, as I say. You know, I've won an awful lot of things. I'm captain. The managers, you know, remain me as captain this season and hopefully for many more years ahead.
I've had a lot of bosses in the last few years. What have you made of Carlo Ancelotti so far? Impressed?
Been really impressed as a man as well. You know, man to man, you can have conversations with him on the training field. You know, I think his knowledge, you know, speaks for itself. He's been very successful as a player and manager, and I think because he's so modern in modern times and modern football, he can relate to the players playing nowadays, and I think that's going to be key in the season ahead of us.
Does it make a difference to you and the boys that he was a serious player himself? Because although we've had a lot of good managers recently, none of them really were big-time footballers, but he is, probably since Luca, he's the first big-time player we've had.
No, he's a proper player. Well, he was. He lets us know he joins in a little bit as well, and lets us know he liked to kick people, and you know, that was his approach as a player. Didn't have much ability. I think he's undermined himself a little bit because he had an awful lot of ability. But you know, he has a great respect in the game for what he's done as a player. And now also a manager. You know, we're fortunate to have him, and as I say, everyone's fighting for their places again. And for people that were out the frame last year, you know, it's a chance for them to, you know, wipe the slate clean and go again and maybe push for a place and surprise the manager and fight for their place back in the team. So you know, things are buzzing around the camp at the moment.